Yeah, this should be a good game. I just hope. I don't really hope
Does it
for an
live up?
80-minute game.
Live up to game number 1.
That's. I don't think it will, but I just want teams to be running. These teams to be running at each other because I think that's when they show like their best. I used to love when I saw these teams actually do their dual lanes, their dual pressure lanes, because it just was like one way or another. Either the tri lane is getting massacred or the dual lane is getting massacred. So it's just like this cluster.
A bloodbath somewhere on the map anyway.
Yeah. So we won't be seeing the same heroes though, as adjustments are being made in the draft already. Elite Wolves are taking out Rubik, which was
instrumental for Cat. I mean,
yeah, it was. You know, he didn't really get like the biggest flashy steals, but his like lifts and his initiations and counter-initiations were pretty good there, and it's just like a safe kind of support hero that
he almost
have been liking a lot.
He almost played that kind of vision role, you know, on the hero that doesn't necessarily give vision. He's just like jumping in, finding the puck somewhere, trying to get info for his team, and a first phase silencer for SG.
Huh.
Cool.
So, do they just take Enigma here?
Silencer, Enigma, go for it.
Like, oh, Rubik's banned, so now we pick Silencer and we pick Enigma.
Yeah, Warlock's gone, Puck's gone. Why the hell not? Sand King for Elite Wolves, one of the best heroes we've seen in a long time for the past, 2-3 months.
Yep.
During the qualifiers, who's picked, I don't know, like 75% of the time or something, or pick ban 85% of the time. Ridiculous pick ban rate on that guy.
Yeah, at least the caustic got reduced. That last patch got reduced down to 20 damage on the explode timer. That was the thing that was ridiculous. Just you could chase.
Yeah.
The chase potential was just way too good with this hero. It was like he basically turned into. Well, not turned into, but Slardar disappeared. No one touches the hero anymore, and then now it's Sand King in the game. He's just like a much better version because he actually gives team fight.
And he can farm. If you do go for the even Sandstorm level 1, you can clear jungle camps relatively easily because of the extended.
All the buffs that happened to this hero just made him come back at such a rapid pace.
Oh yeah, please do excuse my voice. It'll probably crack and break. I've been ill for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But we'll deal with it. I had some really great Peruvian. I'm going to call them drugs. They're Peruvian drugs, pretty hard drugs that Fogged helped me procure from one of the pharmacies here.
Yeah, I asked the guy for cough drops, like throat lozenges, and he just gives us a pill. And I'm like,
no, it was a blue pill. He literally gives me a blue pill.
I was just like, what the hell? And we found out that it was just like an anti-inflammatory thing, but I was under. I told them cough drop.
They're working, honestly. I feel a lot better than I did 2 or 3 hours ago.
You sound better, dude. You sound worse than earlier.
A little bit more croaky.
Save your voice. Save your voice for the game.
No screaming and shouting this game.
So Silencer and Viper. We've got 2 Orb Walkers picked up for SG. Nice and early. But a Viper being picked up this early is
bizarre for me.
Very bizarre. I mean, both of them being picked up first, too. We've seen Silencer get picked up in some games by other teams like Secret and whatnot, just really liking having that core Silencer in certain matchups, though, but not in the first 2.
So when you see like an unusual opening like that, do you expect a pre-made strat, or are they just kind of saying we're going to try and win our lanes with these heroes?
Probably a bit of both, I'd say. Like, maybe SG already have a good amount of information on E-Wolves. These teams know each other pretty well, so maybe they know like kind of what they're going to go towards. Viper, they're playing versus Sand King. Maybe they're expecting a lot of magic damage, so they want the corrosive skin to be useful versus it.
Sure.
AA gets picked up here too, so kind of corrosive skin's still pretty damn good here.
Do you maybe even think about banning out the Drow Ranger as Elite Wolves with 2 ranged heroes already picked up by SG? Is that a fear that you have?
I guess it could be. I don't want to see why not. Yeah, might as well get rid of it. It looks a little weird, right? Though Drow, Viper, Silencers, those 3.
It's just that sort of lurking thought in the back of your head, like Drow Ranger.
Especially with how well it was doing in the group stages. Drow Ranger was winning majority of it. I think it only lost 1 out of like 4 of the games or 5 games that it was played, I believe.
So with Elite Wolves, they've got some great global initiation. Sand King has massive amounts of jump power with AA thrown in there. Heroes like Ember Spirit come to mind, just being able to kind of catch and kill along with that. Sand King, in this game, I don't know, he's still flexible and dynamic in where he can go, but do you feel he's going to be in that 4 role? Or
yeah, more than likely. Okay. I actually personally don't really, not the biggest fan of the offlane Sand King.
Unless you have like a 1v1 or something.
Yeah, if you have a 1v1, sure. I mean, he's the best versus melee heroes, but yeah, he just gets, he doesn't really have like a recovery method. Like you can go Sandstorm, like if you get zoned, but that's like, Sandstorm jungling is a thing of the past. This jungle creeps just, even though they got increased last patch by 10%, it's still not enough to make them worth hitting that early. So Razor and Tinker bans.
Get rid of the Legion Commander.
Yeah, they're looking at, they were getting rid of Leo Styles, Tinker. of his more played heroes.
And Silencer is one of those heroes that really does enable initiators with that kind of blanket global, able to jump in, catch and kill someone very quickly. Legion fits the bill nicely there. I mean, you know, if this was any other region or maybe different teams, I'd be thinking Meepo to go along with the Silencer, but what other heroes can actually fill that role where you jump in and kill other guys? Nyx Assassin maybe to go to the offlane?
Something to start the fight for sure. They do need something that just, I mean, Viper just walks up and hits buildings, so I want to see them have heroes that play around it and catch. The most important thing to have when you're playing with the Viper is catch. And they already have a Silencer, so one of their support heroes is going to have it.
Ooh,
there we go. Get Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit is a very good catch, good combo too. And they already have, like you mentioned, you know, Viper, very strong laner. Viper enables Earth Spirit to just like be able to play around him very easily, get a couple of slow hits, roll.
Just smash the lane up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And Earth Spirit's a very good hero at kind of tracking back and making sure Sand King doesn't get too much done in the laning phase. So force the Sand King to maybe move into unusual positions.
Yeah.
I guess Earth Spirit's main focus will be around that mid lane with a Viper, like you said, collecting bounty runes, getting up in the face of your opponents.
I'm glad Earth Spirit's coming back though. Some people don't like seeing this hero, some people really enjoy seeing it. I am one of the ones who really enjoy seeing it. It's just because like these nerfs that are coming out to some of the roaming 4s that have been hit from the last patch bring Earth Spirit back. You see Gyrax playing it in MDL recently a bunch.
What were the nerfs to Earth Spirit? Was it the slow one, the rolling boulder?
That's the one that
the big one.
Crippled him. Yeah, it's got reduced to like point
almost nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty much nothing at this point.
Kind of force
all
people.
All his abilities have stayed the same though.
Yeah, that is the combination with Magnetize that's always the big strength as well, you know, getting the multi-man stuns and silences that really can dictate how a team fight goes.
Yeah, I mean, their silences already in this fight, or in the fights can look pretty damn strong for SG. So now, E-Wolves wanted another way to start the fight, but now they've revealed the roles. I mean, I think they're already pretty obvious, but now you know exactly Sand King's going to be 4, Bat Rider offlane. So heavy magic damage right now from E-Wolves, no physical whatsoever. So they're going to have to fix that in their next 2 picks. But SG, right? I mean, this is looking like a pretty glorious like hood game, pipe game. Anything along those lines.
Would you think about picking that up on your Viper, or is that?
Yeah, I think you can get a hood on Viper for sure.
But does that mean you need someone with a bit more damage coming from your safe lane?
More than likely, yeah. What else is left for these guys? I mean, they really do like their Ursa.
Yeah.
But they did just lose with it. And there's a good amount of kite versus it.
Yeah, lane's decent against Bat Rider, and you know a lot of these South American teams like to pick up Slark, but against an AA Sand King, that's pretty much off the table. You never want to pick a Slark into AA Sand King. And
Slark's just been in a weird place for quite a while now. He just takes way too long. Yeah. He's way too squishy, too susceptible to getting aggroed. I think they need a beefy hero, something just like to make sure that these two supports can do whatever they want. Because Silencer can stay in the lane, but Earth Spirit ideally wants to be running around making plays. So a good dual laner with Silencer could be nice versus the Bat Rider here. A lot of the ones that are actually coming to mind for me don't really sound that great. Like I kept thinking like Weaver, like the Slark that you mentioned, but they're just not great versus Sand King and AA. But that kind of happens when you're playing with Sand King. They're just very disruptive.
Yeah, he is a very annoying hero. Gets up in your face so quickly. Other heroes that they've run recently have been run in conjunction with Io. You know, your Necro, your Medusa, things like that, so that Io can sustain you and keep you alive. But Juggernauts are pretty much middle of the road, standard, safe. Yeah.
The Healing Ward is going to be nice for when they're going for their push, so they get that extra sustain from that, and he's just good for the lane. And he gives you that dual lane pressure, right? The Silencer Juggernaut can they can get easy kills on Bat Rider. He can be left alone. This was one of their most picked heroes, the Juggernaut for HFN. He used to play it like actually almost all of their games. But I feel like I haven't been seeing as much Juggernaut.
No, it's been like Ursa pretty much every game. A bit of troll here and there. But speaking of Ursa, Elite Wolves do go for that. So with the Healing Ward against Ice Blast, obviously you don't get the kind of sit at a tier 3, continue pushing with the Healing Ward preemptively put out, but you can, you know, back off, Healing Ward up, and return to the fight pretty nicely there.
Yeah.
So you lose a bit of potency from it, but Ice Blast is one of those very hit and miss abilities. It can be annoying for you. Yeah. It's the final phase though. Looking for a mid laner for Elite Wolves.
Ursa with the Bat Rider is nice, having that burst in the lasso. Always want to just kill somebody off there in the lasso is really important.
So respect ban of the OD.
I think that's a noble thing to do for sure. Leo style.
It was really good.
It was really damn good that game. Yeah, he was the rock for the team pretty much. He always was in the right place, and he built like pure aggression. He didn't have like any defensive items, just the Lincolns in the last game.
Well, off lane for SG, we're still looking for that catch. Nyx Assassin, Still in the pool against Bat AA seems pretty nice here with the Carapace, but of course the
Nice.
Tarvo Enigma.
I think that that's appropriate. So what do they what do we want for Leo style here? Maybe something that can scale, because you don't want to be dependent on your Ursa, but something that can lane well versus Viper. I mean, there's Lena scales decently, but Viper and Earthspirit have pretty good kill potential on her.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? You hear me? You guys can hear me?
We can
It's,
hear you.
uh,
Yes, I was though.
You're gonna be able to hear me.
I don't know. I love Invoker, and I always want to see him picked up. But again, it's the same kind of problem against Viper.
Yeah.
Earthspirit is just going to get run at constantly.
You're getting killed too easy. I was thinking the same thing for like either team. I want to see Invokers for some reason. I'm just feeling it. I like Adriano's Invoker as well. But okay, they go for the Troll. This is much safer. The lane is still not great though. Tougher Troll versus Viper.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, and it's not as though you have the ability to put Ursa mid, because it's just going to be even worse for him. It feels like with a range advantage you have.
We did say, I was saying that, the first 3 heroes for Elite Wolves were all magic damage, and then the next 2 heroes they pick are literally straight physical. Just straight physical on the next hero, and then the 5th hero, they're like, we actually lack tower push, so they get the Troll Warlord. So they actually kind of have like a good overall draft, but their lanes are tough still. Their lanes are definitely really hard for the Troll Warlord specifically.
So once they get out of laning stage, when they get their items, they seem relatively well balanced if they can execute through there. But SG have so much early aggression. And then you look at this Nyx Assassin, how do you kill him with an AA? Do you focus the Sanking up there? I honestly think Stinger is probably going to be the linchpin hero, the player that has to do the most, especially in the early game for Elite Wolves, trying to dictate how the lanes go. But then when you're against an Earthspirit who's running around, chasing you on your tail for the first 5 minutes, just like, nope, you're not going to go mid, you're not going to go bot, you're not going to go top.
Yeah. Sanking can still get a lot done. Like, Nyx Assassin should suffer quite a good amount. Look, Ursa is fine versus Nyx. Okay. You actually don't really mind too much versus the Nyx Assassin. I think the Nyx is mostly versus like the initiation, of course, for E-Wolves. Just to counter initiate and allow the Earthspirit to start the fight. So Earthspirit with silence with global ulti, they can actually, as long as they have good vision on SG, they can take fights. The thing is that Elite Wolves definitely has vision advantage in this game, with both being Firefly as well as the Icy Vortex from the AA. Scout out the back lines.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they've got pretty good initiation, but SG has great counter initiations with the silencer. So we'll see how the lanes play out. But
so Elite Wolves
kind of liking E-Wolves a bit better just for their team fight. But I think the lanes are probably better for me getting deaf. That's what that was.
So the kind of catch and kill, getting the numbers advantage, E-Wolves look very, very good.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, they hit all the markers, right? When you're looking at a draft, you're like, okay, we want team fight. AA Sanking, they've got it. They want Roshan potential. Ursa Troll, got it. They want physical damage. Ursa Troll. Building pushing, Troll. They kind of, they've kind of got all of it going on. However, they're playing versus a Viper who can snowball out of control, and he can be super good. That's the one thing, is when you're playing versus a Viper, you don't want your 2 big cores to suffer versus a Viper. You want someone who doesn't really care that their Viper stung or whatever, like getting slowed down. However, they have Troll and Ursa. So that's where I'm like, I don't know. I'm a little bit torn in this one, for which team actually has just a straight out draft.
Oh, already King RD out on the map. Everyone's smoked up from SG.
Are you hearing music?
I do hear music. The chat was complaining about it, and I did ask for it to be turned off, but I don't...
I've got some like classical music.
Is it a music pack, maybe? It's probably one of the Dota music packs. Yeah, I can hear the violins, yeah.
That's I'm looking around to all the heroes thinking someone's taunting or something, and it's like... No, it's...
No, that's the in-game music,
all
I
right.
think. Beautiful. The serenading sound
Dude,
of
what
the
is that?
strings.
No, I didn't hear it last game. I'm going to see if maybe it's...
All of a sudden, the Jaws theme begins. No, it's definitely coming through our headphones.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm losing it right now.
You're losing your mind. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Early aggressive lane ward out from the Earthspirit on bot lane. Batrider's getting closed in on here. Gets a sentry out, which is spotted equally by SG Esports. Something just flies across the screen. Not sure what that blue line was, but...
So they blocked the pole camp though, right? Yeah. So that's a good approach here, because Earthspirit and Silencer both really need levels. They do not get their level 6s quite easily in this game. So Batrider should be able to... He should be able to get a good amount in the bottom lane, as long as it's not a full tri lane, and if he gets the Sanking help. But he's gonna get like level 2 and then just go jungle for a while on the bat, because it's gonna be tough to lane versus Jug and Silencer.
at level 1, oh, he's got Nether Toxin first on Viper. I was going to ask, how does Troll do level 1? You know, last hitting creeps, controlling the wave, but Adriano goes for the Nether Toxin to get the last hit advantage over as Tavo loses half of his HP. Like you said, this Ursa and AA already dishing out a ton of damage, but he drags his creep wave across.
But now Stinger's in spot. Get the stun
in. This Nyx is in trouble. A couple more hits and he's going to fall to get the first blood as well. Stinger already off to a great start, killing off Tavo.
And he's missing this whole wave. He wants the TP, but I don't think he has gold for it.
No, that's
He had to sell something, or someone bought it for him. I think, yeah, King RD bought it for him. He's at least able to get one melee creep and a range creep of experience.
Fair enough.
It's something.
Fair enough. He gets a little bit out of his adventures on the top lane.
His lane equilibrium got screwed, though. You know, he wanted to get the creep wave to meet in between his towers, but unable to do so now. He's going to have a very hard time getting experience in this top lane. So Batrider should come out a bit ahead of it because, you know, that Batrider being on Dire, you get to meet the equilibrium at a better position.
And he has to lane in top lane, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't have jungle.
He can't, but also he can't roam. He's gone for Carapace level 1, so he can't even go for a cheeky, you know, move towards mid and try and stun.
Yeah.
So Tavo is kind of stuck in a cage of his own design up at top lane, while bot, Papita, doing decently down here. Rolling boulder in onto the bat, though, as the spin comes in. This Batrider's in a lot of trouble. The damage looks like it might just be enough with that Arcane Curse in, and a final swipe from HFN. Juggernaut secures a kill. Mid lane, look at this. Stinger, he's already off to a great start, but he's going to get another one. Leo Style will clear up the last hit, and Viper falls. So the poor laning stage that we thought that E-Wolves would perhaps have has been alleviated a lot by the Sanking rotation.
Yeah, I mean, it's all on him to make those moves. That's the one thing that they do have, is like Sanking rotates a little bit better than Earth Spirit naturally, because he has boots, so he's able to just like move to the lanes, and he's got a hard stun. Earth Spirit, you have to land your roll.
Yeah, that's very true. Not as easy as a lot of players make it seem, to be honest, especially the long rolls. You know, if you're coming out of fog from 1,000 range away or something, it can be difficult to line that up perfectly with some erratic movement from your opponents. DD Rune spawns down at the bot spot, which the Earth Spirit should be able to grab for himself, but Batrider's been forced out of lane, and it looks like Tavo will be the same. Shoved back by that Ursa warrior, forces the Carapace out, and that's a long cooldown to expend as well. That's your one defensive tool, really, as the Nyx Assassin. Spike Carapace to try and keep yourself alive and maybe turn the tides against any aggressive moves from Elite Wolves. But how's the Troll doing? 11 for 3, 12 and 5 of the Viper. So he's matching up decently thanks to the Sand King rotation, and it looks like he'll get a wave pushed into his tower as well.
Yeah, I mean, the rotations would really help him there. He was going to... That's where it starts to become the point where you struggle, where it's like level 3 or so when Viper gets... Or level 4 when he gets the 2 points in the poison attack.
Oh, yeah. Man, remember when Viper had a cooldown on poison attack?
Dude, it was
he was annoying back then.
It was like 4 seconds at level 1. It was awful. You needed to have 3 points in poison mid rotation. They're gonna get the courier too.
Nice, juicy takedown. Earth Spirit gets a boulder smash on 1, but it doesn't look like it'll be enough. Viper's held inside the Cold Fate, and King RD has no way of escape. Tries for the TP, but the damage, not quite there. E-Wolves almost had a double. Woo. Okay, Batrider on the off lane. Okay, E-Wolves, they're just running amok. They're finding kills everywhere.
How did he get that kill?
Looks like he just ran at them.
That must have just been a bit of a miscalculation from the silencer there, because Batrider was like level 2 when he started that committal.
Stinger forced away. Adriano says, get out of my lane. Viper meant to be this lane dominator who can stand his ground, but struggling to touch up against this Dire squad.
Stinger's rotations on point so far, though.
They have been spot on.
And it's nice that they have the, this is the one great thing that comes when, they pick Ursa in these type of scenarios, is it alleviates so much pressure on your supports to really, care about the safe lane. You can just roam whatever and not worry about anything.
The classic mid-cast pizza delivery. I love this country, Fog.
Thank you for the Papa John's, Augusto. We'll give it the shout-out on the stream, of course. Papa John's, thank you for pizza and giving us sustenance to survive this long day.
Oh, yes. King RD hasted up. We've got a long duration on that, so it should be fine just to walk it off. But look at where Stinger is. Sand King's trying to cut off the retreat. Not sure he'll be able to catch in here, but...
His movement's been on point. Even in the last game, too. He was making very good moves, getting, perfect lassos. He was one of, the driving forces that made them win that game. And now already, good start. It's 4 minutes in, 4 kills, and he's been involved in 3 already. Tranquil Boots finished up.
Okay, HFN is
am I hearing item dropping?
The classic, yeah, dropping his magic stick in front of the Batrider. Come on, come on. Let's see what you've got.
In between the classical music, I couldn't tell if that was him dropping items or not.
Or a triangle, or chimes, or something.
Yeah.
Stinger comes in, takes a couple of creeps out from the neutral camp. Make sure that you limit the efficiency of SG, and even looking for potentially a jump onto HFN. Forces out the phase boots, but holding onto the Blade Fury, so he does have a way to escape. Even playing aggressively into them. Now the Burrow Strike's gone. HFN is committing in for the kill. Stinger, 2 hits and he's dead, but they're not going to get it just yet. The Boulder Smash will be able to slow him down for his retreat, but he's not going to die. King RD trying to chase on through, but now he's got a TP out. Stinger escapes somehow with a beasting of health.
Wow. I actually cannot believe that he survived there.
It looked
He even got hit.
It looked like HFN got fogged or something, and he kept cancelling his attack animation.
Yeah, something. It looked like he did, yeah. It looked a little bit weird. That was a nice spin play, though. He predicted the stun coming out, because he could have actually paid with his life there. And yeah, so Viper completely dominating the mid lane, and Troll actually resorted to jungle. So he's just straight jungling for the past couple minutes, the past 2 minutes or so. And he's keeping up. He's decently net worth. He's actually ahead just because of the kills that he's gotten.
Oh yeah, almost up to 2,000.
Yep.
Cat on the silencer not having as fun a game. No boots on the silencer. Going to go on a bit of a warding mission here, it looks like. And I think he'll be spotted out by the Dire Observer ward over on their side of the cliff, over on their side of the river.
How's our levels looking? We've got 4 on both supports on E-Wolves and 3 on both supports on SG.
Yeah, it's been a difficult one. You know, it comes down to, like you said, the block of the camp down at the bottom lane.
Yep.
They couldn't stack and pull for the Silencer or the Earth Spirit. Couldn't then pull through.
Small little things add up. They didn't have like the first move of the rotations either. Like ideally you want the Earth Spirit to move, especially when you're laning with the Viper, but it was the Sanking who made the first move. They killed the Courier as well.
Oh yeah.
So
every single first strike has gone the way of the Dire team in this game.
yeah.
And it's Ursa just 1v1ing up against the Nyx Assassin, so this frees up his supports, and even bottom lane they look for the Batrider. In with a spin, Papita not going to get phased by anything though. Turns back to fight King RD, but the Omni Slash is there from HFN. Stinger, do you want in? I don't think so. 3 heroes down here for the Radiant team. He's like, come on.
Oh, did you see? Dude, he stopped moving his jug and he did the jug taunt right in front of his dead body.
Or he spins the blade.
Yeah. No, he did the bow.
Oh,
he had the bow one.
one?
He like bowed down to him. That was actually pretty sick. I didn't even know that one existed actually.
Not me neither.
What is that taunt?
Well,
Taunt for death and honor. Yeah, he bows down to him.
cool.
That's pretty sick.
The great thing about having Troll and Ursa on your team is they're able to dip back into the jungle a little bit, give some of your supports
Yeah.
a bit of experience. The AA sitting mid trying to get 6. Prime example of that.
Yep. This Viper is almost catching up with the Troll, because Troll is just straight jungling for about 4 minutes now. But Troll's pretty efficient because he went Iron Talon, so at least he recognized exactly what he needed to do in this game. Top lane, Kataro, the roll is off the mark. He's trying to get a turn, but he can't.
Yeah, good enrage from the Ursa straight after the Boulder Smash.
Yeah.
And even if they'd landed the roll, difficult kill to finish off.
Tabo's about to be 6 on this Nyx Assassin. That's going to be a bit problematic if they can make good rotation. He doesn't really have a good partner, but if he can like sit behind a tower and wait for a TP. Bottom lane, Stinger.
Stinger in trouble again.
Oh, actually gets brought down by the spin.
The aggressive Burrow Strike. He tried to get in there with some Caustic Finale hits on the creeps as well. He did a lot of damage to HFN to start things off.
You see what HFN just did there too? That was nice. He walked back in range of the tower to make sure his healing ward didn't get killed there. He like kept walking into the tower instead of
plays mid lane. Adriano. Oh, good Boulder Smash. King RD keeps his Viper alive for the strike to turn back. Batrider wants in, but the sticky napalm won't be able to slow the Viper enough to garner themselves any further damage, but the Silencer puts himself too far forward, caught by the Stinger stun. Not finished off though because of this Earth Spirit. In with the damage as well. Boulder Smash through. And Ursa Warrior turns back to fight. So he's find a kill on the Silencer, but it's traded off for the Sand King. And it looks like both teams will try and retreat. What Troll? He's in deep. He's in by their shrine. Another rolling boulder off the mark, but King RD has the gap closed in the front of the Troll. Body blocking up, and Leo Style just hands off the keyboard, presses his taunt key and says, right boys, you got me. Took a while.
Took him a moment.
They got him.
Those are big kills. The Ursa ended up living though, right? Yeah, Ursa lived, but Stinger died, and the Troll on a killing spree died. AA Blast going toward mid. Viper should be just fine, though. He's pretty tanky.
Yeah, 3 points in that passive. Gives him a nice bit of magic resistance up against the AA.
So Batrider was jungling for a bit, right? Yeah. So he's level 6 now on Bat.
Oh, hello. Oh, the carapace onto the core stick, and now the stun to follow through is Stinger. Boris drags himself a little bit further away. Sandstorm to try and dodge away from the spin, and he does succeed. But Papita chasing into Tavo, turned again by Cat. These lanes go from, 1v1s, 2v1s, all of a sudden there's 7 heroes down here. Fights break out so quickly.
SA Dota. Ursa looks like he's going to go for the rush Blink this game. They want to just keep the fights going. I mean, Blink this game is super good versus the Earth Spirit and the Silencer. They actually have no way to peel away from you. Earth Spirit can kick you away, but if you can get him with your enrage, you can bring him down pretty easily. Silencer can't do anything.
Especially the 2 cores, right? Juggernaut and Viper. Without Hurricane Pike or Force Staff on the Viper, there's just really no way to disengage from an Ursa who blinks on you.
Yeah, I mean, you can just... The Viper can just Viper strike him, but... Okay, Viper getting gone on mid. AA ult. Troll as well. He looks pretty dead, but he's tanky.
It takes a lot. A couple of ultis thrown into the mix, but Adriana will finally fall. Cat with HFN. They've got the Omni Slash here. Stinger. Oh god, what was that? Burst strikes through, but he still gets sliced to oblivion. HFN secures the trade. They get a 1-for-1. Not the best, but still something for their troubles, as the TP from Ursa did come through.
And he actually bought... He had the gold for the Blink, and he bought the mask.
Do they want to go Roshan as quickly as possible?
That would be what I would think, but that was just weird. I don't know. He bought the mask, and then he TP's mid to fight.
Yeah.
But if he had Blink, maybe we can do something. I don't know. He probably just was asking his team, like, what do we want to do? What's our, do I want to fight? Am I the one who's going to be doing all the fights right now, or do we want to, like, sit back and just try to recover?
So what's the MO here for SG? Are they waiting for any particular items? They're waiting to try and get Juggernaut up and running?
I think they're ready to go whenever. It's just pretty much getting to the tower. Once they start beating on the tower, though, Jug and Viper, no problem.
Whereas Elite Wolves, they need a Blink Batrider, they need a couple of tanky items on the Troll, your Vlads, your S&Y.
Once they have either one of the Blinks, that's when E-Wolves... that's why I thought maybe the Ursa was going to go for it. So once they have any of the 3 Blinks, they can actually start to make plays. Leo style.
Oh boy, they missed the stuns though. King RD lands the boulder smash, and HFN finally gets into it, but this TP might just complete. Leo style, he's out. He's in the fountain, but he's killed off inside by the poison of the Viper.
That 4-point in poison plus the magnetize just enough to tip him over.
Stinger, meanwhile, just calmly farming jungle.
He's got to get the Blink.
So how are we looking for the Blinks now? Is Batrider getting closer and closer?
They're all pretty close. Like, yeah. Batrider's super close. Sanking is gonna be... I mean, he's got 3 levels in Sandstorm. He's jungling right now. He's 700 away. Ursa as well, 500 away. Oh, they know Stinger's here, though. Uh-oh. Stinger.
Oh, this could be trouble.
There's a Sanking. There's a Nyx and an Earth Spirit coming. He gets the burrow out, though. They were setting the trap.
He does escape, gets back into the lovely cold embrace of the Ancient Apparition, hugs him back into that dire jungle, and Tier 1 top looks like it's an export of call for SG.
How's C4T doing? Almost level 6 on the Silencer.
They TP'd someone bot. Tavo's gone with his Vendetta to try and scout out anyone that's lurking around or straggling a bottom lane. And it will be this Ursa who's all alone, but they are TPing in.
That's a hard kill. They need +1. Okay, they have the Earth Spirit TPing down now. He doesn't have Magnetize just yet, but they should have enough damage to bring him down.
Yeah, it looks like it. Even with Enrage, I don't think he can turn and fight. Batrider has a Blink Lasso, and they'll use it now. Boulder Smash looks good. The Juggernaut, look at him go! He's losing so much HP. He gets the spin away after the Omni Slash, so perfectly played by him, but the rest of them, Tavo misses the Impale, and Batrider comes out with a double kill. Fortunately for SG, they do get the Ursa Warrior, and the Juggernaut escaped.
Nice responses from E-Wolves. I mean, they lose the Ursa, but they get a trade. But at the same time, SG is able to claim that top tower. And Juggernaut lives is the most important thing. So having Yasha and another 2,000 gold already to play with, that's pretty damn nice.
What do you aim for here as the Juggernaut? Manta style against the blind from Troll? Do you think Diffuser Blade is good to try and continue your fights? I think this is a really awkward game to kind of choose what you need.
Stinger gets behind them though. There's AA Blast. It doesn't get C4T. HFN not starting the TP because he's under the tower, but may pay with his life. He's pretty damn fast though with the phase and the Yasha. He buys the ulti orb just in case.
And the recipe I think he got as well.
He's got both already, really? Wow. So he's got the full Manta?
I saw the recipe disappear from his quick buy. Maybe I'm lagging. Maybe I'm wrong.
I was at the big. Damn, 14-minute Manta. Mid lane, another engagement going out. Ursa silenced up, cannot enrage. Easily brought down. Good setup by Tavo.
Yeah, all three heroes. You see the strength now, the initiation of the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
Scouting out, getting into those forward positions. Just enabling the Earth Spirit to have a bit more leeway in where and when he chooses to roll in.
So again, similar to last game, this one is a little bit closer than the early game, than last game's early game, but SG doing the same similar type of thing. Claim the early tier 1s, get into the enemy jungle. Probably put some wards down here as well soon, but yeah, keep that aggressive play up. Bottom lane, there's an AA blast flying. Stinger wanted to do something under the tower, but no longer anymore.
Yeah, the silencer goes and hides a little bit further back away from everyone else.
So they've got Blink on Bat.
Sand King must be close as well, right?
Very close.
170 away. Ursa must have his, yeah.
Ursa has his. And he's got a Midas in his quick buy, too.
What do you think of that?
Try not to fall off. Pretty much all it is.
Just try and keep your net worth up.
Yeah, you know, Ursa stops being as strong around like the 50 or 45-ish minute mark. He just gets kited. And you need too many items. You don't have the slots. Mid lane, King RD gets found up by the lasso. Nice clean pickoff from Papita.
Does this open up Roshan for them now? Earth Spirit's dead for 25 seconds. If they can move in fast enough, could potentially consider it. But they've spotted out Nyx and Juggernaut with their nice Star Observer Water. Stinger, oh, he just TP's out. There's no stuns, nothing to cancel. Makes his way back into the fountain. Oh, that curse. Could have been close. SG are all scouted out on this top lane. Both the Juggernaut and Nyx Assassin with that Star Observer Ward, seeing both of them move around. Ursa goes in and plays aggressively, knowing that there aren't too many people behind them. But Earth Spirit's TPing to the shrine and moving on towards his top lane.
Yeah, they want to play around this super farm Juggernaut, level 12 now, with the Manta style finished up. So yeah, I think the Manta Diffusal build is just like the staple now for the most part on Jugs.
Do you consider a Blink this game, or like a Shadow Blade, something to kind of
on the Jug?
Yeah, to get in the backlines.
The Blink Manta Diffusal Blade is like the best. It's absolutely the best.
Like Blink onto the AA or someone like that. But
especially when you're playing with Silencer on your team. You want to be
just
jumping in, getting the fights going. So yeah, Blink Dagger after the Diffusal and the Manta sounds pretty damn good to me.
Well, the triple Blink threat is ready for E-Wolves. The Sand King's just picked up his.
They've got all three now. Okay.
Time to buy a smoke. Time to go and make some action happen. But before that happens, you've got to make sure all your lanes are pushed out. Top lane on the tier 2. Mid lane moving into tier 2 as well. Something that SG have done an impeccable job about. 5
people on SG all coordinating toward that top lane.
Who are they aiming for?
Should be an objective here. They can probably claim this tower if the Viper just posts up on it with Jug.
Troll.
They already have good vision advantage.
Troll is stuck down bot. They even signal that people are going to be farming around that dire ancient camp. Ursa's down there. Bat Rider's farming in Radiant jungle.
At least Leo Style is getting a trade with the Troll. Getting that tier 1 bottom. Giving them a little bit more access to the enemy jungle, but it's 18 minutes, you know. Losing that tier 1 doesn't really mean too much anymore for SG.
Stinger keeps the creep wave off the tower mid so they can't transition as easily in for another objective, but there's the global silence on top of the lasso, so no further initiation comes out of E-Wolves. Papita has to run away and a good force staff. King RT, he's actually got himself away. The epicenter looks good onto Cat, but the Silence's job is done. He's fine with his trade if they can get some more out of it, and they will. Ursa tries to join the fight, looking for Tavo, gets him, but HFN, oh, he's ready, he goes in with the Omni Slash, damages down Kataro now. Oh god,
oh, nice force.
Gets up on the high ground. Troll, he's got the damage, finishes him off, and Leo Style, what is this, a 1v1, 8 people dead, TP's out and does survive. What a fight, a 4-for-4 trade with 2 cores left standing.
Yeah, let's see what happened actually.
Yeah, the fight recap comes up.
No, that was a nice defensive force staff used by the Viper. He forced down his Earth Spirit and kind of forced the fight into like a weird spot for them to take, and he ends up like living the entire time on the Viper in the backlines, just throwing portal poisons things. He dies at the end, but the damage was done. He got so many attacks off, slowing everybody down. Ursa gets kited and finished off. So great fight for SG. So it was good trade for both teams, but I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I had something in my ear. I couldn't even, I think, for a moment.
Me neither, my dude. Me neither. Yeah. There's the S and Y for for the troll ward.
Yeah, sorry guys. We have somebody in our ear yelling, talking. Okay.
And
I think we're good now.
the Blink Lasso on bot lane. Head up with the Ice Blast. But it's not even needed. Like you said, that Blink Lasso Ursa burst damage is ridiculously strong when paired together.
We used to see a lot of those, the kind of combo picked off the bat with just any hero that can bring someone down during the lasso. They have eyes on C4T as well. This looks like it should be a nice, clean, easy pickoff.
Definitely. Easy peasy. Down goes the silencer. And the Radiant scan, well, it tells them what they already know. 5 heroes from E-Wolves all crowded around looking for the tier 1 mid.
Adriano has vision of them. Don't think he saw him Kotaro go into the Roche pit though. Leo Style looks to be the one that they're targeting in the mid lane. He's in trouble. He's dead.
Oh yeah, that diffusal blade purges him up, slows him down with a stun coming through. Ice Blast looks big though, lands on the Tarbo and Ursa. Where is he? Still in the Roshan pit. Stinger has no mana left. He gets a Sandstorm off barely, but Adriano, he blinks away from the poison sting. Now Ursa turns the fight, but E-Wolves, you have messed up royally here. SG Esports catch 1, turn it into 3, and Roshan is a cherry on top.
Ooh. That's one of those situations where you bite off more than you can chew. They wanted to push the mid lane, but they also wanted to do Roche. They wanted to have like 2 things happening, but they expended too many resources there. They had to commit for just one if they wanted to. I think it was still kind of hard for them to actually go for the Roche.
It felt like they wanted to maybe bait a fight mid with a troll and counter-initiate, but Ursa was just like, no, I'm Roshing. I am in here. I'm trying to take the Aegis. 100%. Nyx Assassin has gone for the Blink Dagger this game, looking for that Blink, Carapace into the Firefly, the ability to jump into the backlines and potentially look for the AA. Quite often, we've kind of used to see the Midas on the Nyx Assassin, but I guess that's more of a 4-role thing where you're a support Nyx and you get the Hand of Midas. Blink Dagger is an initiation tool this game, seems very strong. If
you want the Midas, I think you can get it after the Blink. Like,
okay.
You'll get to that point eventually, and your job as a Nyx Assassin is just run around and give info. Stinger TP's out bottom from the Viper. He'll be just fine.
Another Manta Star for them. Hurricane Pike.
Oh my goodness. Earth Spirit has a Blink Dagger as well already.
Where did that come from?
And a gem, dude. He's rich. I didn't even realize that he's higher net worth than Nyx Assassin.
Is that his gem?
That is his gem
he
too.
Bought it.
Dude, he's super rich.
Where's
King RD. This is King RD things, man. This guy's always farmed in all their games.
Manipulating space and time to get inordinate amounts of money out of nowhere.
He's had pretty good rotations and everything too. He's 2, 3, and 9. Part of 11 of their kills. He's had some good magnetizers splitting up the fights.
And he's been staying alive in a bunch of the fights as well, right? He's been keeping the gold that he's been gaining.
I still can't believe, though, that how farm he is. It's impressive.
And it's an urn as well, right? It's not just the Blink Gem, but it's Blink Gem urn.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just like a crushed Blink Dagger.
Oh, nice catch. Tarbo with the stun, and my god, that Omni Slash damage is insane. Even with the Ice Blast, there's no follow-through.
Oh, the Epi. Epi didn't actually blink. He actually didn't have a target anyway.
Yeah, the map is looking pretty dark in that section for Elite Wolves. Global there to catch the Bat Rider and make sure that Ursa can't jump on in.
Oh,
he's being slowed down by the Viper as well. Papita falls. Oh, Kotaro, can he get away with the in-range? Looks like he's fine. No further movement forward from Adriano. Hurricane Pike still on cooldown for a little bit. I thought they were looking for a kill top lane, but it's just a Juggernaut illusion. Actually, no, the main Juggernaut's blinking in there, looking for a kill onto Stinger. Sandstorm keeps him invisible, away from the watchful eyes.
Oh my god, HFN's actually so massive right now, dude. Blink, Manta, Diffusal. It's 23 minutes, he has almost 15k net worth, and he's level 18 on Juggernaut.
How long does that Aegis last, Fox? It's another couple of minutes, right? Another 2.5 minutes, it looks like. So they've got so much time at their disposal to go and make things happen.
I mean, they've already claimed all the tier 2s. The map is theirs.
Nice Enrage gets the purge off, but there's Tarbo again. Great impale from the side, and Ursa Warrior dead to rights.
They just lost Leo Style, then they lose Kotaro as well.
It's slipping
Ursa
away.
Warlord, yeah, it's slipping away very quickly.
No stuns here though. Looks like Troll will be okay. Silver lining to everything. Troll survives and TP's out, but here comes the high ground push with that Aegis. HFN, of course, doesn't have Omni Slash for another 20. Needs a bit of mana as well, but if Stinger gives them a kill on a silver platter, he'll take it. Beyond godlike now for the Juggernaut.
Oh, Tabo actually should die here. Yeah, he takes out.
That Ice Blast can't be underestimated.
Sanking tried to snipe, be like cheeky, snipe the healing ward and then stun away and survive, but yeah, gets hit by a stun.
It does stop the push though, at the very least.
Yeah.
Make sure that SG get away from their tier 3s.
Yeah, losing Tavo. They don't want to not have their main initiator at this point, especially when they're trying for like high ground siege. No point. No need to risk that.
But with Global coming back up in 5 seconds, they could do with some mana here. We're seeing clarities everywhere from SG. But with the lack of arcane boots, you know, Silencer and Earth Spirit, neither of them have upgraded boots.
Yeah. They're just trying to stay at the door of Elite Wolves, though. They're just trying to keep that threat going. Wait for Nyx to respawn, just come back, go for that siege. Because they still have the Aegis. But now the lanes are starting to look a little bit problematic. Bottom and top pushing out.
Once Elite Wolves start getting BKBs, does that change a lot in these team fights? It looks like Troll's heading towards one and will maybe allow him to stand his ground a little bit. But it doesn't change the fact that they're having difficulties getting onto a target, right?
Yeah, they're having difficulties getting on the target, and the big problem is the Jug. Jug needs to get bursted down somehow. But when you're playing versus Global, you also want to be getting that Silencer in the backline. But he's not even like in the vicinity of anybody. He's just like jungling as a Silencer, so he can't get caught.
Playing hide and seek.
They need to just pretty much expend two ultimates on this Viper, on this Jug, or even 3 ultimates to just bring them down. It'll be totally worth it.
And they need to synchronize really nicely between the Bat and the Ursa as well.
Yeah.
Making sure that you jump at the same time so the Global doesn't catch both of you when you're a little bit unready. Oh, look at this. King RD's found another one. Blink Boulder Smash. Locks in the Troll. Oh, jumping as well from the Juggernaut. The Global will make sure there's no counter initiation here, but I don't think Elite Wolves have that on their mind at all. Papita BKBs to escape. Tries to fly away with the Firefly. Gets the blink and TP away, it looks like there. Stinger forces in onto the tier 1, but they start a team, they're just losing one by one every step of the way. SG Esports finding the catches they need.
Yeah, man, it's such like a bad feeling when you're playing like this Sanking support or this like Bat Rider in these games where you've lost all your outer buildings. Like ideally, you want to be able to like defend one of your tier 1s or tier 2s with your first reveal of your Blink Dagger or your Bat Rider. But that just wasn't the case this game. So it puts it's a hard position for him to actually find good epicenters or good places to be able to use his ultimate because of that Global. And because they're just getting ran at. Like Tavo is actually giving so much information on the map with this Nyx Assassin constantly. I
guess with Epicenter, one of the things you like to look for is defending a tier 1 or a tier 2.
Yeah.
But by the time he had his blink, he had no tier 1s remaining and couldn't make any of those kind of, fog, hide in the tree, blink Epicenter plays. Yep. Now it comes down to basically them smoking and playing aggressively or waiting for SG to roll up to their high ground. What is this Ursa up to? Hiding in the trees to TP away.
Yeah, he got Arcane Curse, couldn't blink for a bit. He tried to pull the Prowlers out of the camp as a melee hero.
That feels really bad. I hate those so much. So,
there we go, that worked.
I don't know what's worse though, those little guys or the Thunder Lizard that just like cast his spell and stays AFK. And
they both do the same thing, and it's only when you're. It's not even every time. It's like
melee.
Sometimes as a melee hero. Because sometimes I see it. It just didn't happen there. That time he actually was like able to. He could have stacked it. He missed the timing of it, but the creep moved. Sometimes it's just weird like that.
Silly ancients. I don't know what they're doing. Stinger has a Yule Scepter now, so the global silence not going to affect him as much. I guess the Bat Rider also has a BKB to try and alleviate some of those issues, but is also heading towards a Yule Scepter of himself.
Yeah, I mean, he needed BKB on Bat. You versus Nyx Assassin in this game, it's like impossible to actually get a decent lasso. You don't even have like great lasso targets when you're getting sieged like this. It's like Viper, it's like, no. Definitely not.
I mean, Viper's close to the only hero you can go on at this point. Linken's Juggernaut means that you can't make the Blink Lasso plays anymore.
Yep, Linken's Jug. They have the Earth Spirit for the follow-up.
Oh, hello. Catching 2. There's a great Omni Slash in as well. The Yule Scepter will save the Sand King, but it'll mean that Leo Style will fall with a Blink Lasso from Bat Rider. Viper, he's dragged into the tier 3, but it's meaningless. He just tanks it up and says, yeah, what up? I'm walking into your base. You dragged me in here, you deal with me now. Tavo stuns the Ursa again, and this might be lights out for E-Wolves in game number 2. Papita stands his ground, but he's gone. He's done for. Tier 3, gonna get shredded apart by HFN's Juggernaut. Adriano wails into it with those little poison attacks as well.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing a good avenue for E-Wolves to come back in this game.
It's looking rough. One lane of racks, transition up towards top, creep waves coming in.
Troll Warlord just feels like such a lackluster hero. And it was like their last pick, and ideally you want that to like bring the whole draft together. They got what they wanted, you know. They wanted to have that tower pusher and that physical damage and the objective taker, but it's just a tough game for Troll Warlord to really actually do anything versus Viper.
There was some fat ward placement there. Just a huge ward model appeared on my screen that took up like a third of the screen. Tavo again, great blink initiation. Stinger's caught, killed, and down he goes. I think HFN wants more. Lincoln's has popped, but he goes in for the barracks. Another Omni Slash in 25, but he's got his Manta style ready so he can just walk into a target with a Manta there. There's no lasso, and Papita has to BKB yet again defensively to run away. Illusions chase down the AA and force them to pop a shrine. SG on their doorstep, on the brink of winning game number 2 here. Not going to give up. Elite Wolves not going to surrender just yet. Holding out for maybe one miracle fight, one big blink epicenter, combo it up with the Ice Blast, get in there with the Ursa. Troll and Ursa, these physical damage dealers, still struggling to get in onto targets and deal out what they can.
I mean, they got to do something. They got to go time. Global is not online just yet, but they are losing it. Okay, Global's back now. Now they can.
JK.
They lost their tower. Now it's time to go for the shrines. I believe Roche is going to be on the menu for SG next.
That slim window disappears. They're going to smoke outside of their base and try and play aggressively, maybe?
I think E-Wolves are already in such a hard situation, especially if this Roche goes to SG. I don't see them having like, literally any chance of coming back.
Ice Blast is flying in. Oh, but the spin from HFN means that they can't continue. Now he blinks forward aggressively, gets a kill. Stinger found and destroyed, and with another Omni Slash through, Leo Style is left high and dry by his team, and it's GG. Game number 2 goes the way of SG Esports, tying it all up, and that means we're heading to game number 3.
Much more discipline this time around, though. Last game they were a little crazy.
Much simpler.
Yeah.
Easy to execute. Their lanes went well. Even with the good sanking rotations early on, it didn't work out for Elite Wolves.
Stinger made a lot, but I think it was just the overall power of the Viper and the Jug. They just post up on a tower, take all 3 early tier 1s, all their like the 2 heroes that need the items, the Earth Spirit and the Nyx, get the items because they get that gold advantage coming in, and then Tavo running around just getting so much information.
Yeah.
I feel like he always was scouting all over the place. Like always knew where they were.
It was like initiating to us. We've got Global, we've got Nyx, Blink, and Carapace. Batrider seemed pretty much at a loss there of what to do. Do I jump on a Viper? Like, is this really what I have to do?
Yeah,
jump
exactly.
on a Viper? It felt really nasty.
Like I didn't even like feel like the Global was like oh crazy amazing Globals. He didn't really like have to. It was just like we're posted up, we're sieging your building.
They were like
you forced to make an engagement that you don't want to do, and then we just look Global. And
they were like screw you Globals, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was just like oh fight's kind of over. We're starting engagement. Yeah, I'm just putting Global. But yeah, much more methodical coming out from SG.
Some crisp stuff from them.
HFN Jug.
Thumbs up from Fogged.
Very good.
You know it's good when he does that.
Yeah, I mean he owned. What was his score at the end? Was it 12-0?
Did he die?
13-0.
He didn't die once?
278 CS. I think he was like level 24 or something. He was like super over leveled, and his reaction speed was really good this game.
Oh man.
Like he was always really quick on spins.
Well, on that.
We have voices in our ears, by the way. That's why.
And they're not speaking English.
I understand it though.
I heard 1 minute, I believe.
Yeah, we got 1 more minute.
Okay, fair enough.
So we got a game 3, first series, kind of expected. We've been saying that these two teams are kind of evenly matched, but more advantage to SG. So
yeah. On that, we'll take a break.